Boeing is creating new technology that has an interesting and unusual feature. I don't want to give too much away, so let's take a look.
Thanks to aerospace manufacturer Boeing, Mission Impossible just got a whole lot more realistic.
This tape will self-destruct in 5 seconds. Good luck, Jim.
That's because Boeing is creating a self-destructing smartphone called Boeing Black. Although it doesn't exactly blow up like the ones in action movies, it does encrypt phone calls and erase data if the phone's casing is tampered with. You wouldn't want it falling into the wrong hands, right? Boeing's Federal Communications Commission filings explain more. The Boeing Black phone is manufactured as a sealed device, both with epoxy around the casing and with screws, the heads of which are covered with tamper-proof covering to identify attempted disassembly. Any attempt to break open the casing of the device would trigger functions that would delete the data and software contained within the device and make the device inoperable. It's reportedly being designed mainly for top government official use, you know, like a secret agent or something. In addition to those features, Mashable reports the phone is also expected to support 2 SIM cards and work on GSM, WCDMA, and LTE networks. It will have a removable battery and Wi-Fi and Bluetooth capabilities, just like a typical smartphone. There's no word yet on when or if the phone will debut to the general public. It's also unclear how much it'll cost. That information is being kept top secret. For Newsy, I'm Matt Moreno. Or am I?
So I love the idea of having a company that's looking forward to protecting your privacy, but unfortunately, as you guys saw in that video, it's only going to be used for officials, people that work for the government. But I want to see what you guys think about this. Sonali, do you see this as good technology, or is it something that could be problematic?
Well, I think it sounds like people who are really afraid of people who might sound like they have the name Edward Snowden. You know, if only government officials are an important people can use it. They're upset about, you know, WikiLeaks, the leaking State Department diplomatic cables, but in the future, of course, we'll all be using phones to do those sorts of things. You know, I think it sounds like a toy for people who have power.
You know, I don't think a self-destructing phone is anything new. I had a Motorola Razr, you know, and you know, how is this? This is only new because you intend it to self-destruct. You know, that's not a big shift. The security stuff, you know, look, if you want somebody not to unscrew your phone, you put nail polish over the thing, and then nobody can, you know, this is like, I don't understand this. Yeah, you just put nail polish over the screws.
That sounds really unsafe. Like a flammable substance should be put.
That's what it was. But even then, you get this highly secure phone, and it's still going to be broadcasting over Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. And so if you're not taking the same security precautions that you would anyway, none of the data is going to be safe anyway. I think it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, that's actually a really great point. I mean, whenever I lose my phone, the number one thing that I worry about is someone's going to have access to my pictures or, you know, my text conversations and all of that stuff. Not that there's anything too shady in there, but still. But, you know, all of that information does get saved in, you know, the cloud, you know, whether it's your contacts or, you know, conversations you've had in the past. That kind of stuff can get saved pretty easily. So I didn't think about that element of it.
Oh, yeah. It's really a neat marketing thing. You can say, hey, we got this special, you know, but come on, how many times have we seen technology like, oh, this is the killer app, and then 2 months later, you know, I mean, this is probably like the MySpace of cell phones. I can't make a big.
What?
Exactly.
Yeah, I think if it is a technology that does get that does become available to ordinary people. As a journalist myself, I feel like I could see some use for this, because today it's really hard for journalists. If you're doing work on national security issues, even encryption has now been proven to be, you know, something that the NSA can break through. You can't even turn your phone off and take it into a conversation, because the microphones and the cameras on your phones can be remotely turned on by the government. They can plant backdoors in the laptop that you order before it even arrives in your home. And so, you know, so on the one hand, if I trust Boeing to really make a safe phone that hasn't given a backdoor to the government, and, you know, we may find that out in 30 years.
Why would you not trust a major defense contractor?
Well,
why? I don't understand.
If it's the same one that the president is using, then it could be a good tool for journalists to protect their sources from the government. I mean, government is getting really, really antsy about whistleblowers,
yes.
and journalists are petrified of revealing their sources.
No, you're absolutely right about that. You know, a good friend of ours, Michael Hastings, died in a really tragic car accident last year. And, you know, there were a number of conspiracy theories that resulted from his death. But, you know, one thing that I did have a discussion about was, you know, regardless of what the cause of that accident was, he was living in a paranoid state because he knew that government officials were spying on journalists. I mean, there was no evidence indicating that they were definitely spying on him, but that form of intimidation does exist, and you know that's a completely different topic, but I love that you touched on it.
This is why John Travolta is encrypting people's names while he speaks. You know, that's what that's actually. You know what I'd like to see Boeing do if we have time? I'd love to challenge Boeing. You want to come up with a cool phone?
Yeah.
Come up with a really, really cool, super cheap phone that can work in the developing world to do money transfers economically at a very, very low entry price, so that people in Kenya, when they're doing M-Pesa and they're doing the mobile money transfers and they can send that money around, that people can afford that technology, because that's transformative. That will change the world. Make a cheap cell phone that lasts for years that you can buy for $5.
We have all the money in the world to solve all the world's problems. The problem is that Boeing doesn't care about the poor.
Yeah, and we need to find a way to properly allocate those resources. So.